Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight? Dark Wolf here. This is another ME24 Meds stream. Hope everybody's having a wonderful night. Thank you, or day, or morning, or evening, wherever you may be, and whatever you may be watching. Thank you for joining in and watching it, whether you're live or whether you're watching us later on after the recording's been made. So, first, I want to wait for a couple people to get in here. Some of the people that will be in here were on Chick Stream earlier, and some of you already have seen this, what I'm going to show. So, hopefully we'll get some people in here that hasn't seen the evidence yet. So I'll wait for a couple people to come in. Got 2 viewers right now. Hopefully a few more will pop in before I really get started on stuff. Hope everybody's doing wonderful tonight. Everybody's watching. I'm still kind of trying to set up stuff for the stream and get all my links and everything in order. Have it kind of pre-set up where it'll be a little bit easier to flip through what I'm trying to present. So you guys just bear with me a minute and we'll get started here. Hey, Claire, glad to see ya. Glad you decided to join us. You were probably on Eva's stream last night, so you're going to know some of what I'm about to talk about. Some other stuff, and I don't think you were on Chick stream. If you were, then you know the other half I'm going to talk about. Hey, Pri. I kind of named the stream this because that's kind of how I feel a lot of the time. Not like right this second, but in general. Trying to figure this thing out. Looking at the evidence, looking at the changes, looking at the speed of the changes. And good morning, Patrick. Hey, Noble. Hey, Q. There we go. Now we're getting some people in. Noble, you're going to love this. Maybe I'm old on this one. Maybe you've already heard of it. About an hour. A little more, a little less. Depends on how long ago. Sometimes I go over. I don't have anybody behind me, so I don't have to worry about really knocking anybody off tonight. So sometimes I go a little over an hour. Depends on what kind of rants I get into. You know me. Love getting ready when you're on. Puts in agreement. Oh, that's awesome, Claire. Glad I could help. We're all old. Now, the ME that I'm going to talk about to start with is it may be an old one to you because you've been in the Christian community a little longer than I have. To me and Chick, it was new, so she covered it on her stream. I'm going to go over it on here for people who either don't watch her stream or just haven't heard of it yet. I don't normally cover changes, but this one's kind of this whole month. This is what I don't understand. This whole month has been change after change after. It's followed no pattern at all. Normally, I thought that we could get a pattern in the changes. We started finding a shift indicator, started finding a pattern in the shifts, which were really close to having a pattern nailed out. A couple more months with the data, if it keeps going the way it is, we should have a pretty good forecast nailed out pretty soon. Few strides on that, but I would think when we get the shift, I'd be able to correlate it with the actual changes. But we've had changes this month, left, right, and center. I was able to correlate it the first time. Say, yeah, there was a shift, and all of a sudden, Moneybags had his hands full for a week. Yeah, heavy month, man. Insane. We haven't seen Noble. We haven't seen one like this in a while. You know. You're one of the old school ones. We haven't seen one. We got new peeps. We ain't had a new wave in a long time. We've got Mandela's out the hoo-ha. Even me as a skeptic and a person that tries to break down effects and prove them wrong or right, even I'm going, holy crap, no way. They're just too blatant. I can't even argue them. Yeah, that's changed. We haven't seen one like this in a long time, which begs the question why. I don't know the answer yet. Still working on that. But it begs the question, why? Why are we seeing it again now? Why this time of year? Why this month? Suso even mentioned May and September in his book are the heaviest months. Why? I have a theory on that. We'll get into that in a moment. Kind of something to around your old theory, but not the same path. Anyway, we got about 8 viewers now, so I'll go ahead and start what I was talking about. Quit my little beginning rant. Again, I hope everybody's doing wonderful. Everybody who's joined us, whether you're lurking, watching, or chatting, we appreciate you being here. Even if you're watching the after show, we really appreciate you. Anyway, to get into what we were going to get into to start with, if you were on Chick Stream earlier, you've heard about this. But I'm going to cover it on here, like I said earlier, just in case those who may not know about it. That's what I was talking about. It may be an old one. So, in the crucifixion, and a lot of jewelry now also, I learned something the other day that I didn't know. And that's that at the bottom of the crucifixion, there's this skull and crossbones, which, that may not be odd. You may be thinking right now, well, they crucified people there. Of course it's going to be bones. Hold on. It's not the reason you think that it is. Just wait. And it's not just like I found it in one picture. I just typed in crucifixion. And all these pictures come up. Look here. Here's a skull right below Christ, right at the bottom. Oh, that one ain't close enough. Or ain't far enough away. Nope, he ain't there on that one. Here we go. Roll into this puppy. What's that on the ground? Skull and crossbones at the feet of Christ. So I know a lot of you thinking, yeah, there's a symbolism here. Yeah, it's where they killed people. That's not the reason. Check it out. Everybody who knows the Bible knows Calvary and Golgotha. Well, Calvary or Golgotha actually means skull. Was referred to in the Gospels, a site immediately outside Jerusalem walls where Jesus was crucified. Matthew and Mark's Gospel has translated the term to mean place of the skull. I don't ever remember that being translated in Matthew and Mark's Gospels at all. And whose skull is it? Well, that gets even better because I can tell you exactly whose skull it is. It's Adam's. The Adam, the original man. Adam's skull. Watch this. Wait on the internet, but just watch. Okay. Thank you. Apparently, according to lore now, the ancient skull of Adam was taken by Shem and buried at Calvary, which was later where Jesus ended up crucified. And on all these pictures going way back even before the Renaissance, we've got Calvary. If you want to make sure I'm still going, vice chatting, if you want to make sure. With the skull and bones at the bottom. And they're in all the ancient pictures, all the way back to Renaissance ages. There's one specifically I'm looking for. But just to prove a point, I just typed in crucifixion and found these, right? Now, let's go up here and search for Adam's skull and see what we get. See if it's just completely off base or if we start getting crucifixion pictures. Even more so, with Adam's skull right at the bottom. It doesn't matter if it's background or what, it still shows a skull right at the bottom of the cross. This is weird to me. Guys, am I still on? Hold on a minute. All right, well, let's hope that I'm still on. Oh, okay. There we are. There we are. All right. It got real quiet. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Just wanted to make sure. Excellent. So, anyway, close this out. So, Calvary. Oh, guess it would help if I screen share, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Calvary actually now means Adam's skull. Here we go. Interestingly, Jewish tradition also says Adam's skull was buried near Jerusalem by Noah's son, Shem, and guarded by Melchizedek. Now, the only time I ever remember Melchizedek being mentioned, I don't even remember being mentioned as a guard. It was just a one-off time. I know this because the Mormon priesthood considers itself the Melchizedek priesthood. Found that odd considering he was mentioned once, maybe twice in the entire Bible. So that's new to me. Maybe I'm just a little ignorant on my Bible. I don't know. But is buried near Jerusalem by Noah's son Shem and guarded by Melchizedek, the priest king of Salem, Jerusalem at the time of Abraham. So the skull and bones on our crucifixes may also represent Adam. The funny thing about this is the guy that wrote this article, he was just as perplexed as the rest of us were when we found this. Why do a skull and crossbones have to do with Christ's Paschal mystery? It talks about approaching the Holy Week. From praying closest to resurrection to the traditional crucifix, I was surprised to find that not long ago, one of the traditional forms of the crucifix included a skull and bones at the foot of the cross. So he starts out in this article admitting he has no clue and was very surprised about it. And then, in true fashion, goes on to explain why it's this way. Now, he does give some good information, but I don't remember it being this way. Golgotha means place of the skull, if I remember correctly. That is correct. That is correct. See, I never remember that. That's new to me. And even it being named that, I don't remember all the crucifix pictures with a skull and crossbones at the bottom of every one of them. Like all these. Again, maybe my ignorance. But me and Chick discussed this, and we were quite surprised at what we found. And now it's going to mess with me and give me all kind of other crap, isn't it? Yeah, you are. That's what it does, doesn't it? That's what it does. You add an apostrophe and you get a whole new search. Anyway, that was one thing we found. And then we ran across another thing that I found very, very interesting. The meaning of purgatory. A place or state of suffering inhabited by souls or sinners who are expiating their sins before going to heaven. Okay, see, this last part here is not what I was taught. Now, mind you, I'm not a Catholic. I'm not. But I don't remember the going to heaven part when you made it to purgatory. That was if you got prayed in, not just kind of waiting around and having the quality of cleansing or purifying. Again, guys, I may be wrong on this one too. All this is new to me. Most of the Catholic depictions, so I don't know much about it. Still weird, okay. All new. Never saw that. Catholic, never been taught this stuff. All new to me. Oh, you're Catholic. You're going to love this. Right? But as I remember purgatory being, unless you were prayed out or paid a tithing to the Catholic Church of some type, or lit enough of the candles, you couldn't let somebody out of purgatory. It was a place where you had to be let out of. You had to be prayed out of by the saints, as I remember. And like I said, the lower level could pay a tithing to the fathers and the popes and consider the saints, and they could pray them out. That's how I remember purgatory being. Not you're waiting around, till your sins wear off and you go to heaven. You're just in a cleansing stage. It's not how I remember purgatory. Again, I'm not a Catholic, but that's how they explain purgatory here now in this. Lord help me in this reality. In this reality. But wait, there's more. If you were watching Eva's live stream last night, you guys seen the Last Supper. Now, this is really, really good. Wrong button. I don't want to go to Amazon. I want to open the image. Open image. And screw it up. So, it was pointed out by Unimundi and on Eva's last night, and he did a video today. All these little pieces of bread along the table. Now, I'm not 100% on that. What gets me are the glasses and the lack of the chalice in front of Jesus. The golden chalice was a big part of a lot of storylines in my memory. Movie lines or movie story plots, things like that. There was a cup sitting here. It might not, it wasn't gold, but it was a chalice. I want to say it was a wooden chalice, as a matter of fact, because a lot of people thought they might have been getting it wrong. It was the cup in front of Jesus. But the cup in front of Jesus wasn't glass, or any of the rest of them, as I remember. And the bread here all along the table. I get the thing of breaking bread. There's not a single one of these bread broken. Every one of them are whole loaves. So even that doesn't make sense to me. They're all full. The breaking bread analogy, I can understand if the bread were broken open. Take a piece of me for it as my body. But this is just weird. I was old enough to make my decision. I don't go to church anymore. I believe I can talk to God and Jesus anywhere I want. Here, Patrick. The Bible says exactly that. Yeah, so a lot of people say they don't remember the feet either. I kind of do remember the feet, I'll be honest with you. But again, I'm not 100% on some of these. I am 100% there was a cup in front of Jesus. I would think that if there was that much bread on the table, at least some would be broken open to show the symbology of what they would want to show. Apparently the chalice is over here somewhere now, but I sure as hoo-hoo don't see it. And I ain't really going to put a whole lot of effort looking, let's be honest. That's a whole lot of stuff to look through, really, every little pixel there. I don't see it blatantly standing out. Supper just looks so weird to me now and different. Look at this penny a few months ago back, and dude with the white beard was not right in the face of the other dude. Yeah, the one coming up on the shoulder right there. Apparently, the way I understand it, the story is he's feeling to see if they have an Adam's apple is the actual story. That I have no idea. What in the actual heck? Cheers to that. I'm drinking a Monster. Monster. No, I'm not paid by Monster. I just really like the product. But yeah, a lot of this is really, really weird. The table is what I would always focus on. It all looks off. Yes, it all looks off to me too. We've had a lot of Christian changes this month alone, this week alone, this absolute shift. I don't know how long ago the Adam skull came into play. That was just found. I won't say it just happened because we weren't watching it prior to that, but it was just found. Chick brought it up to me. I think somebody sent it to her. I'm not sure. She may have found it herself. I don't want to take credit away from her, but she's the one who brought that up to me. We got to look at that. We found purgatory and, a lot of weird stuff there. And then the Last Supper. And I couldn't help but just sit back and think. I've seen all these Christian changes in a day, maybe 2 days. Maybe it was 3 days. I take that back. I'm sorry. It was about 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. All these at once. Yes, where are the cups? Yes. Search Da Vinci's Last Supper. This is a remake. Okay. I heard somebody else say this last night. We'll see what we get. Swear to God, Jay, if you make me eat my words. Okay, so here's the Wikipedia. Leonardo da Vinci, file, Last Supper, copy. Okay. So it's a copy of Da Vinci. Brilliant hidden messages, Da Vinci's Last Supper. I'm still seeing bread and glass cups. My Little Adventure, Daily Mail, yeah, because they're reliable. Fine Art America. God Photographic, Mosaic of the Last Supper, copy of. Vinci's original. Wikipedia. So, LeonardoDaVinci.net. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so that's about as perfect as we can get it. The guy's still touching her neck. We still have bread all over the table. Still missing the cup that I remember. Still looks like glasses, in my opinion. It is a little bit more painting looking and less pop color. This is more like an original. Okay, no, feet at Jesus. There are some feet around the others, so no feet at Jesus. That is a change that they made on the other one. That they made, not the ME, they made. However, the bread is still there unbroken, minus one piece in front of Jesus. Cups are still the wrong type to me, and the chalice that I remember is missing. But thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. I always like somebody trying to keep me straight. I really, really do. Very much appreciate that. Originally been fixed as a square door under Jesus had it a few years back. It was repaired. Alright, Uni Rock. Uni Rock. I'm going to assume you're streaming right now. Haven't really looked, but all right, yeah, definitely Sunday. Should be able to do something Sunday. Yeah. Come hang out over there. Have uploading in a video. I just finished a song in Da Vinci's work on this photo. Really, really interesting. Would you agree it's changed? Anyway, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Yeah, I'll definitely come over and look at that. Skookum, hey, having uploaded in a video, I just finished a song hidden in Da Vinci's work. A song hit. I've heard about this. I have heard about this. I'm not sure where it's supposed to be hidden across at, but I have heard something about this. Been a long time, though. Definitely. I'll hit you up. I'll definitely hit you up. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. Good to see you again. Always wonderful. Uni Rock, guys. Uni Rock. Rock on, bro. KC, good to see ya. Glad you stopped by. All right. Going on back over here. 10 facts we don't know. I wonder what's going to be on these 10 facts we don't know. The layout. I'm going to have to go ahead and Google that song here in a minute. You guys know that, right? The Last Supper is a failed experiment. The spilled salt is symbolic. The spilled salt. Not all the bread. The spilled salt. Okay. Eel or herring? The dispute whether the fish on the table is herring or eel. Okay, so the fish has meaning. Still nothing about the bread. Painting is also a musical score. Here we go. According to Italian musician Giovanni Maria Palla, Da Vinci incorporated musical notes in The Last Supper. In 2007, yeah, I knew I'd read about it before. Polly created a 40-second melody from the notes that were allegedly hidden in the scene. We're going to have to go check out Uni's video on that. In 2010, Sabrina Savarza Galizia translated what she saw as mathematical and astrological indicators in Da Vinci's work as a message from the artist about the end of the world. Man, they got dark quick. According to her interpretation, the artist says the apocalypse will take place in 4006. I would love to know how they did the math on that one. Not saying it's not real, just would love to see the math. Existing mural is not a Da Vinci's work. The end of the 20th century, it was restored. Remove the added layers of paint and restore the original as accurately as possible. Critics maintain that only a fraction of the painting that exists today is the real work of Da Vinci. 3 early copies of the original exist. So there were 3 copies. The painting is also a musical score. Okay, so they put it on here twice. That's where the bread probably should have been, right? The other one about the musical score. The painting has been a victim of neglect and abuse. Well, duh. It has been repeatedly restored. Now, that's interesting information. However, the last restore was in 1978, so from then on, in our timeline and our memory, we should know it as it is. Okay, back up a little bit here. Check the chat. Why? Da Vinci and his paintings are highly multidimensional. They've been changing before Mandela's great-great-great-granddad was born. Before Mandela's great. In Canada, the Canadian Tire store brand Motormaster is now Motomaster. I know this has changed. Everyone has Motormaster, something in their house garage. Oils, batteries, tires, cars. Interesting. There you go. Local changes. Somebody else pointed out a local change here, but I ain't been here to verify it. So, but somebody that lived here noticed something out of place. They haven't checked on it though. Like now, there's a door. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that part of the painting. I never really looked at under the table. I was always focused on right here with the golden or the Holy Grail. That's how I knew Holy Grail was. It was right in the middle of the picture. It was at his hand. A lot of people argued that it wasn't golden they were looking for, but an actual wooden cup. And I thought that was hilarious, and it was sitting right in front of him. There are other things, though, but the door is a crappy attempt to prevent deterioration. Jay Hollandforth, an awful thing to do. Yeah, I agree. Says Jessica. How did they allow such a difference to be painted? Apparently, the cup moved from the table to the wall. Also, there appears to be what looks like a doorway under the table. So apparently, the doorway is a restoration. That's the way I'm understanding it. I don't know, but the restoration was last done in 1978. So it shouldn't even be there in our memories. Give or take that one. I'm not 100 on the door. If you guys are, cool. Cool. This is the original Last Supper. Well, as original as it is. So most claimed, I guess, that it's not as, most of it ain't Da Vinci's work. Most of it's repair work anymore, they say. And it goes back to the Theseus paradox? Yes, the Theseus paradox, which states if you have a boat and you slowly have take piece by piece and replace every piece of the boat, is it a new boat or is it the same one? Because it's not what you started with. You replaced all the pieces. How much do you have to replace for it becomes a new object or a new world or a new reality? I don't know. That's just thinking off the cuff. Anyway, this is Leonardo's work. Yeah, I've been watching Mona Lisa so far. She ain't stopped smirking at me. Right there. She's still smirking at us. Thing about Mona Lisa, it was always a thing in art, and I'm not an art major by no means, but it was, even I knew this. That's what makes it, so interesting, was the question whether or not Mona Lisa was smiling. It was always an interpretation style. Excuse me, whether she was smiling or she was frowning. Here, it's not even a questionable frown. She's clearly smirking, if nothing else. How many viewers we got now? Just curious. 12. Hey, all 12 of you. What do you guys think of the jet engine airplane? You know what? Everybody's covered these and I haven't, so why not? Might as well. I flew on a jet plane about 6 months ago, and when I looked at it, it looked normal. It's the plane I flew on. You know what? I ain't even going to ask it. I'm just going to ask it for aeroplanes. No, I'm not going to put the O in it. I know there's no O in it. But them they're aeroplanes. I bet you I could if I spelled it A-E-R-O. Anyway. Of course, I get a rap song. Aeroplane. Wait, what? Okay, there they are. Okay, that's the front view. That just looks weird. Is that an old school? Nope, too far forward. That's just a private jet. Oh, I see what's different in there. Yeah, I agree with everybody. The jets on, no, really? Airbus like that? How does it not have a problem burning the bottom of the wing up? Why is that not a major maintenance issue? They must make them things out of some new stuff. I don't care what you make it out of. Wear and tear is wear and tear. The winglets are new with me as well. Yeah, I know about B.O.B. I don't listen to a lot of his music, but I do like the fact that he's woke. Ain't many in Hollywood. What? No, 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 no. What do these things twist and turn to create the different heights? Oh, hashtag not my reality. This is a drawing. What's this? Some kind of like teaching drawing? And no. If I'd seen that in a book, I'd say the artist was an idiot. And then I'd walk out of the tarmac and go, okay, maybe I'm an idiot. Not my reality. That's so weird to me. Certain things still grab me. Even people, see, that's the thing right there, Skookum. That's it right there. Never even been in the plane. See, that's me when I get into talking about art and things. I've never been a real art major or real into art, but certain things you just know. You know that you know. You look at it and go, yeah, nope, that ain't right. We all had the little planes as a kid. If you didn't have one, your neighbor did or your cousin did. We all had those little toy planes. We know how they were put together. At least somebody did. You didn't have to be a pilot or be around planes all your life to know what a freaking plane looks like. I mean, let's be honest here. All you got to do is watch an airport scene on a movie. There you go. Your boys had them. There you go. Like I said, if you didn't, if you know somebody who did have them little planes, we all know what a freaking plane looks like. Sorry, that's wrong. This is an interesting model. Almost looks somewhat normal. And then you got this. Okay, so when did when did the jet engine set on the ground? Please tell me I'm wrong. Ooh, wow, that got big quick. Maybe I need to come out just a little bit. Yep. Like, is this some kind of maintenance or something? Okay, that's on. Okay, I stand corrected. That one crashed. That poor thing crashed in the carpet bad. It's beat up. Man, that had a rough flight. Boy, I see. I see a paper model. Okay, I see. I thought it was in a hangar of some type. But urge. the jets are just wrong. Every airplane, well, the ones in the back still look semi-normal, even though I think they were up here a little higher than the actual tail fin. What do you guys think about the jets like that? Were they like that, or was it up a little higher in the tail fin? Come on over, chat. Engines are glued on wrong from a kit, right? It ain't rocket science. Wait, never mind. They're so far ahead. And you know, guys, this goes back to the technology before its time. We didn't have this. We didn't have the capability to put them like that. This one looks normal. Maybe it's the angle. Nope, that one's not. It's the angle on this side. You look on the other side, those ain't normal in comparison to the wing above it. And for that one person who's watching this stream going, man, he's an idiot. You know what a plane looks like. No, what a plane looks like to me is not what matches my memory. Like half of the memories I have in my head. And you know, most other people who watch this stream. So just for that one person who may find this and try to debunk me, please show me why I'm wrong. I get it in this reality. It's always had these. But someday I'll find a picture where it doesn't. Oh, isn't that a neat one? Man, turbo plane right there now. From atoms to airplanes, advanced technology writes a new chapter in science of flight. Sure, why not? So somebody has to look into this. Still ain't going to get off topic. Maybe a good change makes them safer. Perhaps many of us are alive now because of the change. Final destination. You know, I can't poo-poo it. With the reality changes now, like this month has been one of the heaviest I've seen in God knows how long. Advanced technology writes a new chapter in the science of flight. So what is this? New York to Paris. Imagine year 2045, you're about to board an airliner from a non-stop flight from New York to Paris. The aircraft looks the same as a commercial airplane did in 2015, but advanced technology. So this is just a dream then. Okay, that's just kind of where we're looking to go, guys. Anyway, airplanes do look really, really weird with the way their jets are set up now. That's such a fake photo. I hate when a science thing does fake photos like that. The Blue Angels. I bet that's who that is. I used to love watching them perform. But man, oh man, do they ever look weird now. You would think it would burn up the bottom of the wing a lot. Yeah, you know, never seen these airplanes with engines. I'll get back to that comment. There's airplanes, the engines or jet engine in the center towards the back. Only time I've seen that was on military aircraft, never on domestic. With jet engines in the center. Okay, fair enough. That may have just been me. I may be misremembering. And I'll admit, there's times I will misremember stuff. I'm human. I'm willing to admit when I can misremember something. I'm not 100% on it. But listen to me when I am 100% on them. That's when you know. I'll be the first to tell you. So, Patrick, yes, they have been quite a few crashing. Still, statistically, it's extremely low. But I have noticed in the last couple of years, it seems now. That said, understand we only hear about the ones that the news decides to tell us. So when they're out of fear and fear porn, they're going to throw something in to get the emotion worked up. Which goes back to the theory I've been working for a while, or for a couple of days actually. No, about since Suzo's been working a theory. Anyway, I think that a lot of it has to do with propaganda and needing the fear, needing the emotion out there, needing the panic or needing the sorrow or whatever they may be. So close to it seems. Some of the Blue Angels are really close, even in real life. Like I've seen their shows. Get the air show New Year's every year. Like, I love the air shows. I'm hoping to get one now. Move back up north. You don't have them in the south for some reason, but up north, I've noticed they have them more. Okay, so there's a reason I think the media is about fear mongering. I don't think it's by accident that we're shifting. I don't think it's by accident they're fear mongering. I think it's all connected. Last 3 months, yes. I would pin it down to the last month and a half to 2 months, to be honest with you, because 6 months ago, I know it wasn't. I rode on a plane. I'd have been like, hey, guys, what in the actual heck am I looking at? Last 4 weeks, actually. Okay. Okay. Month to 2 months. Okay. I give that month. Nice. But anyway, going back to the media, Suso brought up a theory, and I discussed it on Martha Jane's stream, and I'm starting to see evidence, and I'm just kind of going to go over this and understand I'm free thinking right now. I'm rambling on about a theory that I have kind of been looking into. It is not my original theory. It's thanks to the help of Suso and Chick and a couple others talking through with it. Right, but I am not to think it's all connected. Correct. I can't connect UFOs and ghosts and all that. I can't connect all the paranormal things. Bear with me. It's one at a time. So the media. We'll get back to the media in a minute. The theory is, okay, now let's start with the media, as a matter of fact. They push one thing, fear porn, fear mongering. They want to keep the people in a state of fear. Now, we all know this. We're all researchers, paranormal researchers. We all think it's to keep us down, and keep us dumb, and keep us in. There's a reason they want us in this mindset. And it doesn't have to do with keeping us enslaved. Not exactly, anyway. What up, A1? Good to see you. In my opinion, they're doing well. In the opinion of this theory, not in my opinion, in the opinion of this theory, they're doing this and they keep this consistent because even when it's a slow news day, hey, guess what? We had a plane crash, or we had this, we had, there's probably 3 of them in a day that you don't hear about, and one of them you do, or one of them in a month you hear about, or 2 of them in a month, but the 900,000 tomato you don't. It's choosy what they do, and the reason they do that is to keep that fear and that emotion and that that sorrow and that depression going. We all radiate what we feel. We have a specific biomagnetic frequency that radiates off from us, bioelectric fingerprint that radiates away from us. And our emotions control everything we do. When's the last time you made a decision without your emotions being involved? Just think about that for 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, I need to pull something on the screen up. Know what I do? While I'm talking, we can look at something really wild. Something I used to love looking at. I haven't forgot where I'm at, though. Promise you that. Hold on, it's loading. I want to get it loaded first before I continue. I do. There we go. Anyway. Of course it will. Anyway, all right. There we go. Got a beautiful fractal running. So, emotion. When's the last time you made a decision where your emotions were not included? I think every decision I make is based on some type of emotion. If I'm happy, I'm going to give you one answer. If I'm mad, I'm going to give you another. If I'm depressed, I'm going to give you a different answer. If I'm sorrowful, it might be even different. If I'm crying, it's going to be a different answer. Everything we do is based on emotion. Every decision we make. Now, look at Dr. Emoto's work. Dr. Emoto is the one that did the emotion test with the water. It shows that your intentions, your emotions are the foundation of your thinking. If you realize that or not logic, and I'm a math guy, took LDS to figure this out. LSD. Yeah, I'm a little dyslexic tonight, all right? Took LSD to figure this out. Definitely. Exactly. Your emotions control everything you do, whether you realize it or you don't. That's what's really in control, that underlying emotion. Now look again at Dr. Emoto's work. He proved that, yeah, fractals, what a great thing to talk about, or what I'm talking about, huh? He proved that the water can hold, and even food can hold and pick up on emotion. If you take 3 jars and you look at one every day of water, and you say I love you, over and over and over, and think it and really put it out there to that, then you change your emotions to hate towards another, and then don't do anything to the other, and you freeze them, you're going to come up with 3 very different ice crystal patterns. Also, if you do this to food, you can look on YouTube and find dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of experiments called the rice experiment. So the rice experiment is where you take regular rice that you've cooked, put it in 3 different jars, just like the water. In one of them, you can either write on it or intentionally every day, I love you, I love you, I love you. The next one, I hate you, or I'm going to kill you, or die, or just whatever kind of dark, evil thing you can think of. And put that hate emotion into that one. And do have a control where you don't do either one. And again, you're going to find 3 different results. The one where you didn't do either is going to be the mold you expect. The one that you get the hate towards and the negative emotion is going to have a lot more mold, believe it or not. The one that has the love emotion, if any, will usually have no mold. It may just start to mold by natural process, but usually it has next to no mold on it. That's just based on our emotional frequency and signature being put out into our environment. Causing fear and emotion in news, give over our energy to awake but nefarious humans, the elite that use it to create the reality they want, much like many religions do, feed on fear. I wasn't going towards the elite. I can't name a conspirator yet, but I think I'm close to figuring out a marker, a reason, some fuel. What fuels it? I think I figured out what fuels it. I think I figured out something else, but again, I think. I'm not saying I know anything. I think. So bear with me. You went a little ahead there, a little further than I was going, a little different path. But yes, you're on the right track. Exactly. So now we have established our emotions not only control our thoughts and every action we make and do, it also controls the environment around us, or at least has influence upon. So I'm radiating an emotion. I radiate a high emotion most of the time because I try to stay happy. I try to look at life with every bright side of the cloud I can find, even in the worst situation. I'll make light of things that sometimes maybe I shouldn't, but it's because I want to keep people in that upper laughing. Is how I deal with a lot of stuff, is laughter. So that said, other people deal with it differently. If you have this fear, this overabundance of any emotion, or even a mixture of heavy emotions, it's only going to build up for so long. I'm assuming that they know it's coming, but maybe they don't. Maybe we give them too much credit sometimes, the elites. Either way, this emotional buildup has got to reach a breaking point. It's got to release. There's got to be balance. It can only be held in the collective consciousness of the world for so long. It could be this buildup and over buildup of emotion, which could trigger shifts. Look at 2016. Make sure I'm right. Yes, 2016. The last year of Obama. 2015 into 2016, when it really started picking up. The last year of Obama's administration, I'm not going to talk political conspiracy, but I do know it's fact that we had an overabundance of mass shootings in the country. We had the fear emotion running wild. Then we had the anger emotion running wild when they talked about they're going to come take your guns, they're going to take your guns. We had the anger and the fear, and it built and it built and it built and it built. I'm willing to bet they picked up and increased in speed at that point for those of us that were around back then in 2016. 2016 and 2015 looking at these things because it did increase in speed at that point. I'm willing to bet that was the trigger each time, is the buildup of emotion. And I like to think that the more and more of us wake up to the Mandela effect, and the more and more of us wake up to reality and quit watching the news and quit watching the TVs and quit programming ourselves with their programming and what they want us to feel, and always concentrate on the higher energies and the love and the, things like that. And yes, I get it. Half the community at shifts get depressed. The other half is in a good mood. I have a theory for that too. I feel, and all of you feel, I know, especially if you're Mandela affected and watching this at any point in the future, I know you feel that there's a reason you see this and you're chosen. There's a reason that you can be aware of the Mandela effect and other people can't. Every one of us has thought it. I think it. There's a reason there's just certain ones of us, and we all have one thing, not all. 98%. There are very few, and I think I know the reason for this too. There are very few who don't have the empathic quality. But the one similarity we all tend to share is the ability to have empathy towards each other. Deep empathy. More so than the usual. So, yes, they have a lot of power. It is my theory, based on the evidence that has been presented so far, coming from multiple sources, from Dr. Emoto, starting with Suso's emotion idea and whatnot. So, based on all this different work, it is my theory that because we do feel like we're chosen, we are all majority empaths. Half of us feel the bad side, half of us feel the good side. What if we're the filters for the collective consciousness? What if we're the ones that need to transmute this energy into something different and change? I don't want to say change reality because I don't want to mix that with reality changes. To change the frequency consciousness of mankind is the best way I can put it, but that's even a little more woo-woo than I want to go with this. And I like woo-woo, but I want to try to get this as scientific as I can. But what if, because we're empaths, because we feel this, because we have it coming in, when we do get those depression moments, if I'm right, it's our job, our duty to put ourselves in that better mood and transmute that energy that we're being empathic from the collective consciousness. Maybe we are the watchers. Yes, maybe. Now, this does not explain certain, why the changes occur. This does not help predict any changes. But this could be the fuel used for a shift. Empathy is higher in Rh negative, or people with half negative, half positive blood. Interesting. I don't know my blood type, or I would definitely get into a deeper discussion about that. If anybody in the chat knows blood types and wants to discuss that, by all means. I don't. I can't. There's not a lot I can rant on about that from personal experience. So there you go. Release the negative, raise the energies. So all this fear being built up by the mainstream media that's causing these heavy shifts, maybe we need to learn to transmute it a little bit better. Or maybe there's not enough of us yet. We got a whole new wave of people recently. This doesn't explain this either. Now, I said I would explain those that aren't empathic but can see the Mandela effect. Even the filter needs a buffer system. So even the filter is going to need a place in there, one or two places, where it's got a free zone. A person that maybe even not realize they're empathic. Maybe it's a storage zone. I don't know. But even a best filter has to have a little buffer zone there. That could be those few people who are very Mandela affected but just don't have the empathy trait as deeply as we do. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Skookum. Hey, Abdul. So what do you guys think? Do you think I've done like kicked the rocker and I'm so far in left field it's just nowhere near it? Do you think I'm getting close, or we're getting close? Do you think it's feasible? Do you think parts of it are feasible? Do you think I went a little over the edge with the whole filter aspect of it? What do you guys think? For those watching at home, I would love to hear your comments down below. I would love to know what you think. For those watching live, I got to give you some time to pull it up. I don't know how bad a lag I've got on my stream. So, cheers to that. One stuff. Very interesting. Thank you, Patrick. Helps if you know types of parents, siblings, and children. Yeah. I family history is a little difficult for me. I think as we stop feeling hopeless, we can gather the power we have to make all of this a more positive experience. Yes. Oh, positive. Yes, I'm an anomaly. Again, I don't know enough about um, um, blood types and whatnot. As I'm not super studied in it, I can give a little bit of information. I know the blood type has changed. I only fear love. Fear is a huge power supply for manifestation. Love is the other. You manifest easier with fear, the darker side versus lighter side, Star Wars, so on. I only fear love. That way it is what I manifest around me. That's a wonderful way to live. Wonderful way to live. And I agree, both of them are huge power supplies. So I can tell you this about the blood. When I remember hearing what the most rare blood type was O negative. Turns out O negative is not the most rare blood type. And I know some of you are sitting going, he's talking about this again. We're talking about DNA again. No, sorry. Yeah, I am. Now it's B negative is the most rare blood type. I don't remember B negative being the most rare blood type. It was O negative. That was the universal donor. That's why it was the most rare. It was the most in one. Now B negative, I don't think is a universal donor. Nope. Abdul, not only, see, here's the problem. Here's a good thing, I guess. People just tell me I'm wrong, but they sometimes refuse to tell me why. If I think you're wrong, I will show you the evidence I have. What is the rarest blood type? That way you can try to debunk my evidence as I would try to do to anybody else. And do not think you're going to offend me. According to the American Red Cross, the rarest, is AB negative. Present in only 1% of the Caucasians, and African Americans, it is even rarer. B negative and O negative, I was wrong about that. It's AB negative. B negative and O negative are also very rare, each accounting for less than 5% of the world's population. But AB negative, which to me seems like it changed from about a year or two ago, is now the most rare blood type. So, yeah, O no is really, really, really new to me. O positive was the universal donor in yours. I would have sworn it was O negative. Let's see what it is here. What is the universal donor blood type? What do you know? It guessed what we were going for. Type O negative blood is called the universal donor type because it's compatible with any blood. Type AP negative positive blood. Type A, okay, maybe it means type A dash positive instead of negative positive. It's called the universal recipient because a person who has it can receive any type of blood. AB negative positive, AB positive. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, guys. But O negative is the universal donor. That's what I thought. That's interesting. Yours was O positive. Interesting. Learned in high school AB minus. Really, Skookum? I always learned it was O negative. Negative universal. O positive is universal recipient. AB negative is rarest. See, O negative, because it was universal, was rarest in where I came from. Any positive blood would kill a negative. Yes, agreed. I am O positive and always used to complain that I can give blood to everyone. Okay, guys, I think we're back. I do apologize for that. Stupid internet decided it wanted to boot me off and make me sign back in again. How nice of it. Anyway, my apologies. So, yeah, the universal blood type is O negative, AB negative positive, whatever is called the universal recipient, which is universal. O positive is the most common blood type and most likely to be transfused. O negative donors are the universal donor. People O negative are universal red blood, red blah 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 blah. Are red blood cell donors. No, I'm not having a stroke. This means that their red blood cells can be transfused to any blood type. So, again, this is not what I remember being taught. AB negative, less than 1%, nobleness D. Negative means you lack the rhesus factor. Universal plasma donor is both AB negative and AB positive. See, that's different for me too. Well, I can't say I knew about plasma, but I didn't think AB anything was like a specific. So, No, but you have a bump on the back of your head. I heard it's only on A negative and AB negative. Noble said, hell, you don't know. Bad school system, maybe. Bad doctors, bad medical, bad everything. I guess the doctors really didn't know what they were doing either. Heck, we were taught a completely different anatomy. The ones that wrote the doctor's books, they didn't have a clue either. I love this. Where's your heart? On the left. Well, not exactly. Kidneys, oh, they're down here. Well, not exactly. How big's your liver? Decent. No, it's huge. Does the heart pump blood? No, of course. Nope. It twists and pushes the blood out. For some reason, they don't accept that as a pump anymore. Is your stomach down in your tummy? Yep. Nope. So the doctors in the medical books back then got it wrong too. Problem is, those medical books have changed, I would think. For all these shifts, I'm planning to get a blood test to see if any blood type has changed. Or if your blood type is. Sherry, Robert Wood reports that his brother's blood type changed on him. I've only heard one report so far. So, if you get information on that, I would love to know. And anybody else gets information on that, or any blood test done, anybody who's willing to get blood tests and submit the data of the actual blood test itself without your personal information on it, we do have a place set up to submit those. Submit them by email or through Reddit. Chick's really handling a lot of that. But if you would like to submit your your medical record information about your blood test itself, different things found in it, magnesium, concentrates, things like that, we would gladly take that information for scientific study. Friend was O negative, universal donor, but this is me for her. Now she's a universal recipient. Not a change for you, though. Interesting. There's another part of me that is in less than 1% category. Noble, you're awful. Please tell me you mean your nose. My heart goes boom, 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 pause. Still freaks me out. Oh, wow. Sounds like a palpitation. That's the reason to make the test. Excellent. Yeah, I would love any information you can get on that, guys. We will definitely accept it. Don't want your personal information. I can give a crap who you are, where you live, maybe a general country, but mainly just want the blood data. Before and after shifts would be great. That could help prove or disprove a theory that we've been working here in the last couple months. One that I really feel strongly about. Oh, also, back to the emotion thing real quick. For some reason, the picture of the brain reminded me, man, that looks weird. Didn't think the brain matter went up and around the circles like that. Maybe that was a stupid dude. Oh, it's a cross image. Never mind. I see what's going on. Anyway, anyway. So, have you guys noticed certain times Scotty, Baylo, Poppie, Martha Jayne, Hall had some really weird glitches. And what I mean by that is their videos will buffer out, or we'll get a color pattern show like never before. It was also right after Martha would meditate that we'd get a color show. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Remember this. Some of you think I'm nuts. Bear with me. I think Poppy's had some stuff on her stream happen. The way I understand it, I haven't seen it. I'm not sure. I know I've seen Martha's. I know I've seen Scotty Baylo's buffer a lot at certain times, especially when certain songs are on, like certain emotions are being fed. It is my theory that mainly smaller, sometimes bigger electronics are also definitely being interfered with by our emotional states. Can't get something to work, getting madder and madder, and it's getting harder and harder for it to even act right. Calm down, come back and it acts right like it had the whole time, like it had been working the whole time. I think it's all boiling back down to emotional states, guys. Martha meditation, all of a sudden we get a color show. Every time she moves her head, it looks like it's going 15 different directions and spiraling 17 different colors. Buffering at certain times when certain people are clearly feeling emotions from songs or resonating with music. A lot of times, okay, here's one I've noticed. Start talking about Jesus or putting a Jesus picture up to the camera and it glitches. Emotion. There's a lot of emotion behind the Jesus picture. A lot of emotion behind that. Dark Wolves Den, it is us. That or he means the U.S. No, I'm kidding. Some of us are sliders, affect electronics with our emotions, electromagnetic interference. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Electromagnetic interference from our emotions. Heard about ME affected people having a lot of problems with devices of any kind because I feel that because we're empaths, again, I think we're transfiguring. I think we're meant to transmute the negative energy into positive. So when we start radiating negative energy, I think it's amplified. And at that point, messes up the electronics around us because we have that higher empathy ability. It's one thing that has just been completely across the board, minus one or two people. Jesus is electromagnetic. I wonder that sometimes when I was younger and I'd make a joke against a particular religion or this or that. And I'd be walking down the street thinking, don't you send no lightning bolts without that finger. I know you got that electromagnetic ability. Just go, oh, you think that's funny? You're going to walk around glowing for a week, dude. Ha ha. Yeah, I've been a little bit goofy, but that's great. Anyway, the emotions, though. I think when we get upset, when we start letting that depression, that anger come out, I think that's when our electronics tend to mess up more. I think we need to practice that more, just like EMP. Yes, and it starts with EMP. That's perfect. Yes, that's it, Noble. And I think the buildup and the buildup and the buildup of emotion without us being able to transfigure enough of it or transmute it or change it is what I'm saying. Transfigure and transmute, for those who are wondering why I'm using funny words or don't know the understanding of it, it's not your fault. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It means to change. Transfigure or transmute means to change it into something else, to change it from bad or negative energy into positive energy, and then re-release it back into the environment as such. So, hold on. Let me make sure I know where I'm going. So, yeah. So, when we because we have that ability, when we start releasing the negative energy back into the environment, it's going to mess with things around us more so than it would maybe a person who isn't chosen for this job, who can't see the Mandela effects, who is spirit blinded, or has NPC type behavior. Never consider someone an NPC. We all have souls. Just because you don't think the guy at the checkout counter does, that actually happens to be my friend, for instance. Somebody knows one of these people. They aren't just soulless vessels. That's a really sad way to look at the world. And it's a really slippery slope to go down, because that dehumanizes people to the point that you would do things that you normally wouldn't do because you think you're doing them to a human. It's just a slippery slope to go down in the community, and I'm trying to make sure, trying to steer us away from that every chance I get. And I do still say NPC sometimes, and I'm working on it. Something Jesus said about us being able to do more than these, yes. Meaning miracles he performed, yes. Yes. And I really feel it's all based on the emotion. Yes, you shall do these and even more. Yes, absolutely. 2 days I had this unbelievable power. I have never experienced something like this before. I've almost felt like a demigod. And I've heard other people say this, so I didn't do a lot of reporting on this. I may have mentioned it one time. My hearing seems to have increased almost tenfold. I can hear a friggin' pine cone drop a quarter mile away. And I'm almost being facetious with that, understand. I'm really not going out of the realm. I've heard other people say that their hearing has really increased. So that's interesting too. Jesus said we could do what he could and more, if I'm correct. Dark Wolf is called sliders. It seems like many Mandela affected are gaining slider abilities. Need to learn to control it. Also, many are getting the dyslexic superpower. Yeah, that dyslexic superpower is a heck of a thing. I pride myself in my reading, and this dyslexia is not working. I'm trying to make light of it, and it's messing with me. You see that? So, sliders. I like that show. I get the concept you're talking about. Interesting terminology. Sliders. Us sliders. I've been calling us travelers instead of sliders. I feel like sliding's a little too physical. We feel it when we shift, but we don't like 1 second we're here, next second we're like, ooh, completely different reality. To me, it seems more like travelers. We suddenly realize we made it somewhere. I never at any time, but not a bad term if you'd like to go with using that. I never at any time in my life thought I would be privy and part of such interesting conversations. I was discussing the weather gardens and how is this family type stuff. So glad you're here to join in with us and expand your mind. I try to take the paranormal and the Mandela effect specifically and put science behind it. And recently we've been making some breakthroughs, but I want to make sure I'm not off base and off my rocker with us. I want you guys to, if I'm crazy, if I'm wrong, if I'm out in left field, let me know. Please let me know. I'm the one that is not going to get mad at you. Let me know. Our eye vision has improved too, like HD in a physical way. I've noticed it a little bit because I've got one bad eye and it seems to be working a little better for me. And I'm not wearing glasses. I should, but I'm not. Money and all, Every day and every time was for me. Every day and every time. Every day and every time was for me. Okay, so I missed something. You're responding to something I said that clearly I've forgotten I've said. Or I'm just not understanding the reference. I apologize, Sherry. I really, really, really do. I'm usually really good about that. I pride myself on that, but you lost me on that one. The spelling has changed every day and every time for me, every day. Together apart. The space in between. Okay. I've noticed that a lot. The a lot. Two-night in the Bible's split up, I've noticed. I want to say today and tonight, or tomorrow and tonight. Two of those words, are split up like that also. lot of spaces coming into words, isn't it? See, this is the one thing that I have a problem with. I can sit here and explain to you what I believe is fueling the Mandela effect and what's fueling the shifts and the build up into the big shifts. You're writing it multiple times to mess with me, ain't you, Jay Holland? But I can't explain to you why certain things are changing. Why we got a bunch of huge Christian changes all of a sudden. Why we got Mount Rushmore changing. Why we got all these changes that, man, we've had more in a month than oh my goodness, than I've seen in a month in a long time. It's been back to back to back to back to back to back. I can't even correlate them correctly with the shift data because they're coming out of order. Personal Mandelas, digital Mandelas, which is kind of becoming a new thing, like a big thing. It was new back a year ago when we were discussing it. We've had videos pop up from people we should have seen 2 years ago. I check Mandela effect at least 3 or 4 times a week, if not more. And then what I mean is I type it in and see everything that comes up and I date it. When's the most recent? When's the most recent? And I look back to the last one I seen from the last time. So if these videos would have come up, I'd have known them. I've at least been keeping my eye on them. Ooh, this is an interesting creator. They're talking about Mandela effect. What is this? Maybe they'll talk theory. What is this? We've got people showing up, and I don't care if it's Mandela effect. I don't care if it's wood carving. I don't care if it's needlework. Videos pop up that you should have already seen years ago, especially if it's something you really follow close. You've watched every video you can think of. You at least know the artist. And these aren't just one-off videos. I'm talking about people who videos for 2 or 3 years, but somehow you just missed it. You missed it. I know. And now I've even seen name trend. Do you remember Life Matrix doing a Costco video long ago about it? Yes. The Costco one was another one that I sat on the sidelines and watched because I wasn't sure. And I took the side of maybe you just thought, because of the name, it sounded like it, just like I did with Victoria's Secrets, but I was a little more sure on Victoria's Secrets. But I sat on the side and watched it and took my side of it and never said a word about it publicly. And the tea came back. It flip-flopped. But that was outside of a month ago. Now, we did get a couple flip-flops real close together there, and then now we've had a supercharged month. Now, that's something I didn't think about, Noble. Since you brought that up, that reminded me. Saying when a timeline collapses, they merge with us and bring the change. I've heard that theory. Matter of fact, I think I pounded out pieces of that theory. Truth be told. Yeah, that's pretty popular. Used to be pretty popular theory. And I really kind of sort of resonate with that, but I don't. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't say I'm 100 on any theory. What am I talking about? You can throw every theory out there and I'll be like, I'm not sure. Because I can't stick with one yet till I have the solid evidence. Now, I'm pretty solid on this emotion thing, though, being the fuel. Yes, videos are recommended to me that I know I already watched, but it isn't marked that I saw it. Maybe YouTube has a limit. I would like to think it's the YouTube algorithm just pulling stuff up that it didn't, or they tweak the algorithm, but it's too often that I've seen this happen. Not in a while, mind you, but it used to be more often than not, where you'd find a creator that, like I said, he's been around 2 or 3 years. You should have known him by now. But lo and behold, you've never, ever heard of his work, even accidentally. Jay Holland, it's Sherry. That's probably part of it. Also, possibly your frequency tuned into theirs. Speaking of the collapsing timeline theory, I have seen new stuff on YouTube that I've watched. Maybe I resonate to be able to see more. And my friend's daughter is autistic, very autistic, high end spectrum, but autistic. A savant, a straight savant. And a video will drop within 5 minutes. I've been sitting here with her this whole 5 minutes, looking at it from the moment it dropped. Never watching it, just looking at it on my screen, knowing it's dropped there, get the notification. And I'll mention to her, hey, check it out. This such and such channel dropped this video. And it's, if it's something we're both interested in. Hey, check it out. It's such and such video. Oh, yeah, I've already seen that. I literally know it dropped 5 minutes before. But I don't say a word. Oh, yeah, you have? Well, tell me what it's about. And she'll tell me the entire video. And then I'll go away on my own and I'll watch it. And she'll be spot on. There's no way she could have watched it. It literally just dropped. The creator literally just made it. But she's already seen it. And she's done this to me 3 or 4 times. I can't explain it. That's what it reminds me of when you say you're getting second person to say they're getting stuff up that they know they watched. That reminded me of her doing that to me, that she's watched it and I haven't. And she's like a reality ahead of me. It's crazy. Getting crash course on knowledge I have never known of. Maybe that is why it feels like our brains are opening up and expanding to make room or something. And to make room for all the information that I'm going to stuff into them. Because the longer you sit in this stream, the more information I'm going to try to pound into them. I'm all about information and scientific data and trying to match it to Mandela effects and figure out a why. From day one, I wanted to know why. Why? I was fascinated. I've said it 100 times. I was like a kid with a brand new Christmas toy. What is this? You know, what in the world is this? The Mandela what? Reality changing? No, the Berenstein Bears hadn't eaten it. Reality's changing. What the world's going on? How is this happening? Glad I'm able to help get an education there, A1. I'm serious. I like to try to teach people things that I take for granted that I know or have looked up. Talking of frequencies, anyone having high pitched noise today? Because I have Moneybags dropped a question, not even a video, dropped a question earlier this evening. And I was asking you the last 2 days if anybody has had the high pitched ringing in their ears, like really high. I haven't had it super high. It's actually been a little lower for me recently, but there could be multiple reasons for that. It's low tone right now, very, very quiet there, but quiet. But anybody who has been experiencing this, please go over to Moneybag Stream and put the vote there. That is my evidence pool. I definitely look at his stuff as my evidence pool. Thumbs up and thumbs down give me a lot of information. I wish I could, Jay Holland. I wish I could control it. So if you guys have been hearing a loud ringing the last couple of days, jump over Moneybags real quick. Put your thumb up or thumb down. Let him know. Let me know. Because he don't know it, but he lets me know. Dark Wolf, Search Queen, We Are the Champions, Live Aid. Yeah, I've seen that. I have seen that. The only place he's known to have said it is in that live concert. And that is the one piece of evidence that tries to get thrown back at us when we talk about that ME. For guys who don't know who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about here, who may have never heard of this or just didn't realize that it happened. We Are the Champions. This is a very, very famous song. This isn't just a random song that somebody may or may not know. You're talking generations of people know this song. And for those who don't know, it has a very distinct ending. It ends with the words of the world. At least that's how everybody I know remembers it. But here's the ending, the official ending of the lyrics to this song. It just ends with because we are the champions. And dead. Dead silence. That's it. That's done. No more. Nothing. Excuse me. However, it's funny, it gives us that particular video, the live concert. I believe this is the video, right? Hey, Steve, I've not forgotten about you. I'm still trying to craft a good response to your email. I'm still considering reconsidering the experiment. So let's go to the very end here and see what he says. It says buffer. That's what he says. Oh, no, you don't. Get back here. Too close. All right, then. Please be it. Well, guess what? It's not it. Now I have to search specifically what he asked me to. Okay. Whoa, lot to read. Hold on. Slow down. Live Aid. 85. Copy is the past, and here's we go. Yeah, I know that was horrible. That's Live Aid. There we go. I've seen Live Aid a few times. All right, guys. See what we got. A loud crowd. Still a loud crowd. Good old Freddy. There it is. There it is. All right, guys, you guys got to give me a minute to catch up in this chat. Holy cacao. There's more queen proofs now. Had a low day today. Had waves where everything melts together and the ground is soft. Honestly, thought I was having a stroke. How many times it happened? More queen proofs. Slip the caps on. Flipping back or something. You know what? It may be. It may be in a flip flop. Continue to gain ion proofs. It may be in a flip flop. I would love to catch a flip flop in action, like in a flip flop. Because usually it's just is and isn't. Seems like we have different symptoms of what's going on. They're personalized. Something is up. I feel anger and frustration. My cats are ready. Cats! That's something else that's interesting. It's cats. Go on to this in a second. Impress something I've never seen, maybe an Emmy. I'm sure I would know with this. Do you know of The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T? 1953 American musical fantasy film. The only feature written by Theodore Seuss Geisel. Dr. Seuss. Yeah, you didn't even have to type that. I knew who that was. Theodore Seuss Geisel, but for those who did. Dr. Seuss, yeah. The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T. So yes, I am copying that for my later use. And it was made into a movie. Oh, okay, but that headdress is probably a movie that I would have passed on at the time anyway. Anyway, I only sang the part when I played live. My body, yeah, that's what people say that they only sang it live. Too many memories of people. Cat is making more noise than usual the past few days. Champions of the world. Yeah, that's the way it should be of the world. Very few of them are like that now. Just a few months ago, I heard the son of the world still there. Heard the son with of the world. Noise, not noise. Bob Geldof did say, give us your in money. I watched it at the time. He said it. Okay, I missed something there. Another conversation I'm not in. Recovering souls. Well, yes, my kid shouts now. Okay, cat noises. Interesting. Cat says words. I heard a couple of those. I believe there are interpreters among us that can figure this out. They just don't know. A1, it is my life's goal to figure this out. I made it my life's goal 3 years ago. A year ago, I committed to the theories online publicly. Dewclaw has moved. Okay, yeah, I've seen something about the Dewclaw. I'm not a cat fanatic. However, what do the Egyptians think about cats? What role did they play in the Egyptian lore? Cats in the highest esteem, the penalty for they worshipped the cat goddess, often represented as half feline, half woman, who they called Beset. So I'll just go straight for what I'm looking for. It may be in the woo section. Cat's ability to transfigure energy. Yes, I'm reading right now is why I've gone quiet. I know it's weird for me to go quiet. No, a lot of you like listening to my voice. I'm kidding. Cats take away negative energy. What is this? The secret healing power of cats. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I knew it existed. Most people generally think cats do nothing, are lazy, and all they do is eat and sleep. Not so. You know, cats have a specific job to perform in your life. You wonder why so many people have cats nowadays more so than dogs. Here's an unknown tip inside the secret life of cats. All cats are empowered to remove accumulated negative energy from your body on a daily basis. This comes from innerself.com. You're more than welcome to go look at yourself. If you want to source it, I will drop it in chat. Always do your own research. Always make your own decisions and use your own discernment. Believe nothing any one person tells you unless you can verify it multiple times, including me. Always question what I tell you just as well as anybody else. Always use your discernment. While you're sleeping, they absorb it from your body, negative energy. If there is more than one person in the family and only one cat, it may accumulate an overload of negativity from absorbing energy from so many people. When they sleep, a cat's body releases the negativity that it removed from you. If you are extremely stressed out, they may not have had enough time to release this negative energy. Therefore, it is stored as fat until they can. I don't know how much I agree with this. Therefore, they will be, well, I don't know why I wouldn't, huh? We already proved emotion and negative emotion has negative effects. Yeah, there you go. Therefore, they become overweight. And you thought it was the food you were feeding them. And it's good to have more than one cat in the household so the burden is shared among them. So the point is, they take the negative energy. Not everybody, but a majority I've found of us in the community have cats. Yeah, the Egyptians worshipped them. Now, the way I understood is because they could transfigure and transmute energies, is why the Egyptians actually worshipped them. But I guess they may have changed. I need to do some deeper looking. Yeah, I've definitely got that movie up there to look at, Jay. Promise you that. I noticed that too, Jim, that they aren't burying it like they used to. My friend's cat, I just thought it was her cat being, well, a cat that thinks it's a dog. A dog says, "This human gives me food. They must be a god." Cat says, "This human gives me food. I must be a god." You know that's so true. That is so true. You tell a dog to come here, he's going to come. You tell a cat to come here, he's going to look at you and take 10 minutes to decide whether or not you're worth his time. That is so funny. My kittens were chasing black wispy energies around in the kitchen. I may have angered a warlock around it, and they can see stuff. All animals can see stuff. And every dog that passes me has to come greet me. I don't know what it is. Every dog that comes near me has to come up and greet me. I just feel they have to. One guy, he had a dog, and I walked up and I bent down and gently pet it and stuff. He said, this is the first time on a walk he's ever let anybody pet him. I said, really? Yeah, nobody's ever been able to pet him. He's real skittish of people. The dog sat right down for me, let me pet him, no problem, as if he'd known me all his life. Dogs have always been like that to me. Animals in general, but dogs. Cats love me too. I'm not a huge cat fan. Just never have been. But cats love me too. Yeah, apparently, from what I'm understanding now from the preliminary results coming in right now, it wasn't just her cat Everybody's cats are deciding to heck with it. A lot of animals acting weird, huh? Same here. And dogs always come up to me. Yep, yep. Because we have that energy about us. Because most likely we are the transmuters. That's why we're drawn to, animals are drawn to us, should I say. Man, this friggin' stream has degraded into a poo discussion. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, guys. We've done it. We've degraded into poo. The stream has literally turned to shoo shoo. All right. Anyway, we've literally degraded into poo. But some lion poo to scatter in the front yard. It works now. Lawnmower scatters much lion poo everywhere instead. Note to self for later opinions. Read things before you read them out loud. It may be a really crappy thing to be reading. Ha! All right, the poo jokes are too easy. Oh, wow. Apparently, it's if they're missing some vitamins or minerals, they will munch on alternative things. But back to the cats. Cats are known. My point was, cats are known, and it just dawned on me a couple minutes ago when I decided to look it up, to transfigure negative energy. And it isn't the first time I've heard this. It's also why it was thought that cats would summon lightning because of their static electricity. When it was thought that they would actually summon lightning to the properties a lot of times. But taking away the negative energy is what a lot of cats have been known for over the years. I just wanted to show you that. It just goes back to the emotion and the fact that a large majority of the community own cats, or at least an animal. Majority cats for whatever reason. This could definitely explain it if I'm correct in the fact that we are literally filters for the collective consciousness. And it is literally our job to transmute it. That's why a lot of us would have cats to off-draw a lot of that, or some, at least some of the negative energy that we're not able to take care of ourselves. I would be curious to know the amount of people that have the depression side it shifts and what animal they own. Anybody wants to gather that data, that would be great. It wouldn't take much just asking people what animal do you own and are you depressed or happy it shifts. But I can't get all that information out there as well as some of you can. So if anybody wants to undertake that, by all means, please, that would be great. That'd be interesting information to have. Even if it comes out as nothing, it would still be interesting information to see if it fits or not. So if there's any more researchers out there who want to take this on, I've got a plate full already that I'm researching across a wide variety of theories. I've got a bunch of colleagues who are working on a lot of stuff. If anybody wants to take this on and do the work for me and send me the results, would love to know. Burning sage can bring positive energy. That is actually a very ancient way to cleanse areas and bring positive energy. Well, it brings neutral energies, and then you supply the positive energies is the way sage works. Yeah, a lot of people are mistaken on that there. When you burn the sage, it neutralizes the energy, and then what energy you put into it after that is what energy will tend to stay until such time as. Frozen human-grade foods for cats, that is fantastic. They got food for animals that are better than we eat, guys. These animals are eating calamari and shrimp and lobster. We're lucky if we can buy a steak once a month. Really. We feed our cats better than we feed ourselves or our dogs. Man, the cat food aisle is just insane. I've noticed that. Them suckers are eating stuff that we would pay $100 a plate for. We're paying 99 cents a can for them. Cheers to them. Shout out to all those cats eating better than me, which means all of you. All right, so I have gone on for a while rambling. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I turned on just after 12, so I've come at least close to 2 hours. I hope everybody's had fun. I hope you learned something. I've not eaten cat food, but I guarantee it would be better than the stuff they're feeding us in the GMO sections. Processed food, cat food. Processed cat food. I'd probably take my luck with the processed cat food above most GMO foods or processed foods they got out there right now. And probably be better off health wise, truth be told. Go to hell to bed, right? Oh, you have no idea. Oh, no idea. I think I'm on like almost 40 hours. Went out, worked in the yard today for about 3 hours. Got a lot of stuff done. Anyway, everybody has been fun. It's been great. I hope you guys have learned something. I've enjoyed it. I always enjoy it when I do these streams. I always love hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun for me. It's fun for you guys. We learn something. We theorize. Hopefully, I can get some ideas sparked in you guys. You guys spark ideas in me all the time. Um, Noble, thanks for being here. Shout out. Jim, shout out. Michelle Matthews, Mac and Stood, Steve Raybon, QP, shout out. Alone One, shout out to you. Sherry D, shout out to you. Jay Holland, can't forget Jay. Recovering Soul, hanging out this whole time. Appreciate you. Shout out. Pat Roberts, shout out to you, bud. Thanks for coming by. If you ain't still hanging out, if so, thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. Skookum, shout out. Think that's everybody. Everybody who's been watching and hasn't been able to chat or is not into the chat, shout out to you. I understand if you're working and watching. I used to do it all the time. Shout out to you. Everybody watching it later, shout out to you. Appreciate it, everybody. You guys are awesome. Absolutely amazing. Catch you guys on the next streams. Catch you tomorrow. Catch you as soon as I can catch you. Ladies and gentlemen, remember two things always. Number one, stay awake, but dare to dream. Number two, good night, everybody.